Watch The Narcissist in Action, Narcissist Fury, when served with divorce papers. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. This is another episode involving the narcissist and husband that you've heard from the narcissist versus intimate partner primary source and child non-intimate secondary source. Where the victim divorces the narcissist, this is a clear threat to control. The act itself wounds because there's no emotion associated with it. Of course, receiving a letter telling the narcissist that they are being divorced may contain some emotive language and therefore it would be challenge fuel. But the simple service by perhaps an implacable process server or inquiry agent with divorce papers will wound that narcissist, and the wounding is substantial because it means that the intimate partner primary source no longer wants to be with that narcissist. There are some instances that the narcissist may well respond not with an initial grand hoover, but elevating an existing intimate partner secondary source that's in the background that they've been having an affair with. And in effect, the divorce allows them to hasten that relationship. Even where that happens, and even though it might appear ostensibly to the outside world, well, the narcissist can't be that bothered because they moved on to somebody else that quickly, the fact that the narcissist is subjected to being served with divorce papers shows the audacity of the victim and, of course, causes wounding. The narcissist is the one who gets to decide when the relationship ends, not the victim. The narcissist is the one that would bring divorce proceedings if they so chose. Remember, some narcissists may end the relationship but would not move to actually taking steps to divorce the person because doing so still enables them to control that victim. It's often the case the narcissist may not want to be with you, but that doesn't mean you're allowed to be free. Here, where the narcissist receives the divorce papers, it amounts to massive wounding. The narcissist being told, in effect, you're not good enough. I don't want you anymore. Not only does that crash against the relevant pillars, but it's a huge threat to control, resulting in the narcissist experiencing an ignition of fury. Here, the intimate partner primary source had the narcissist served with divorce papers at her place of work. That will have caused huge wounding and necessitated the need to assert control over him. She clearly wasn't able to do so during the course of the day, and therefore would have had to stay in a position of withdrawal, probably thinking that he was an absolute see you next Tuesday, that he was a hateful, hate-filled, horrible human being for treating her that way. When she arrives home, because the two of them are still in the same home, she seeks to assert control over him as a consequence of trying to stop the divorce taking place. Not because she wants to salvage the relationship, but because she recognizes that she will lose the house. The house, by all accounts, is a lovely building and amounts to a substantial residual benefit. And therefore, the instance of him ending the relationship and thus ripping himself out from the fuel matrix, combined with the problem that she will lose the house, results in a substantial problem for her. The impact it will have upon her ability to control other people through the status of the property is removed. She's already been told, in essence, you're not good enough for me, but now you're not going to be able to stay in this house any longer. Let's listen to the response.
I don't want a new fucking
Quite the response, I'm sure you will agree. Ignited fury, but almost panic, hysteria, desperation. Let's break down what we hear. The narcissist starts off shouting and crying, "I live in this house." The victim points out, quite reasonably, "You don't have to live in this house. Other houses are available in effect." "What am I supposed to do?" Victimhood, self-pitying. "I have nothing. I can't get." "I think you need help," points the victim out reasonably. Note, this victim has long been subjected to these behaviours, and his responses are calm and even-handed. I'm sure much earlier in the relationship, he will have been the one that will have been upset, that have been bewildered, that will have been protesting, but he's moved beyond all of that, and now he deals with it in a very measured way. He's still providing her with fuel, because he's responding to her, but not as much as a large amount as he would have done in the past. "What? I don't," she declares, denial with regard to his suggestion of her needing help. "You don't what?" he asks, almost goading her. The narcissist wails and screams, "I can't get a new house. I need my pans." Notice here how the narcissism is ridiculous as it scrambles for something, triangulating the victim with the pans. Notice there's no mention of the children, there's no mention of them, but it's the house and the pans that matter to this status-orientated narcissist, whose cadre would probably be somatic, I would imagine. The victim asks, "Why can't you get a new house?" "I don't want a new fucking house. I want this house. I want this house. God damn." Screaming, "I don't want to do this." Starts sobbing again, pity play. "Please, I don't want to do this. Please, I'm going to get the kids." Finally, they get a mention. "You'll still get them. You'll still get them. I'm not going to stop you from getting them." His response is where he suggests that she's trying to sort of run off with the kids now, and he points out, being reasonable, that you're still going to be able to involve yourself with them. She pleads with him again, trying to prevent him from proceeding with the divorce. A physically proximate preventative Hoover. "Please, don't do this." "I won't stop you," replies the victim. "You'll still get them. I'll be outside while you get them." "Jeff, I need your help," she cries. Notice there's no threats now. There's no insults being utilised by her as we've heard in the past. No, her narcissism instead has shunted her in order to try and gain control over the intimate partner primary source and halt the divorce by going down the route of pity play. There's still the fury there, but it's mixed in with the sobbing and the screaming and the crying and the wailing. This is a woman whose only concern is herself, and the fact of him divorcing her and the loss of a status symbol of a house is her greatest concern. He remains calm, continuing to provide challenge fuel, but causing a problem for her as a consequence of the fact that she's been served with divorce proceedings. This has smashed her world apart. Given the way that she has gone on in the past, insulting him, belittling him, shouting and screaming at him, telling him to get out, you would think, oh, well, she clearly doesn't want to be with him any longer. But remember, this is a narcissist. And the narcissist, showing the usual hypocrisy and contrarian behaviour, behaves in a way which would suggest that they don't want to be with this person, but of course they will stay with this person because he still serves a purpose within the fuel matrix. She evidently doesn't have somebody else that she can put in place of Jeff. Therefore, she needs to hold on to him. But it's not just the loss of him as the intimate partner primary source and the fuel that he provides. It's the fact that it's going to affect her status because she's going to lose the house, because the house will have to be sold and the proceeds split in two. Therefore, that threat to her status is a threat to her need for control, prompting this hysterical reaction. No threat, no violence, no verbal violence, but rather total self-pity, the shouting and the screaming as she doesn't get her own way, a tantruming toddler. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.